Okay, well, that has to change, obviously. I mean, so
Okay.
the content has to change, but the idea, I guess, you're agreeing with.
I agree with it. I think it's kind of funny that the progressives are fighting it. But according to the Doge people, they went in trying to change it, and they got resisted and told, we don't have to listen to you. And then they said, we can't reform it. We have to burn it down. But they originally went and tried to ask. And they said, and Rubio said that he was told, we don't answer to you. That's why it got to this level. They didn't come in there.
Well, that's true. They don't answer to Rubio, but now they will.
Okay, so that's the problem.
Okay, I accept what you're saying. I mean, I hadn't thought about it until you mentioned it. It makes sense now that you're saying it. By the way, we were competing with the Europeans, and the Europeans did not like us. I mean, there was some real,
We're softly competing with Europeans. We're competing with Russia and China and Iran. I mean, we're competing with our adversaries.
By the way, you know who else we were competing with? Soros's Open Society Foundation, which had offices all over the place as well. They were
also funded by us. You know how much grant money he gets for that? Okay. So that's a problem.
And in some cases, Soros was like the only form of employment because this was right during and after the war, and the whole economy had shut down.
And that's why we should be thankful for Doge.
Well, like I said, at least we should know what's going on. We should see these things. I'm in favor of transparency. Then we can, I guess, the executive can decide whether or not we want it.
Right. And if the American people want, drag shows paid for in Peru, then, maybe we'll do that. But if the majority say no, then we're not going to do it.
Would you participate in one
he was bringing it up because he probably...
I've actually never been to a drag show, so I really can't speak either way.
Look, one of the things I want to support is I don't want to necessarily criticize USAID or the State Department, but what I will criticize is the budget. And I think that if we need to reduce that budget by turning off the spigot and restarting, I'm actually okay with that, because it is an international issue, not a domestic one. So, in a way, I never liked the color and tone of Trump, but I have to admit, taking the Band-Aid off really hard and going to work really fast could be beneficial in the USAID issue.
I totally agree with Marvin on that. Because it's not to suggest, okay, let's turn off the spigot, let's evaluate where is our money really useful. Where are we spending it? Nobody's wanting to see, aid to places that really needs it get turned off. But where we are spending money that we A, don't have, and B, isn't aligned with, or has no oversight. I agree with Marvin. Let's reevaluate this.
Yeah, I also agree with Marvin. But I'll say longer term, those shouldn't be a thing in the way that it is. The oversight should be coming from a functioning Congress. Like longer term, that's how the system is designed.
Yeah, it is. I think that Doge is just a marketing term. That is all it is. It was just a way to poke fun at the whole, branding, effort. So I don't want to necessarily let's not feed into that. Right.
No,
it is funny.
The point is that it's the executive level, and it should really come from Congress. But Jeff, it is a 2-year mandate. That's what Doge expires within 2 years.
Yes, temporary. Well. But also you have to realize something. It should come from Congress, right? But this is very similar to the president's war power, right? The president can activate the Marine Corps at any time without congressional approval. That's written into the constitutional order. It's written somewhere. Now, because I will support this, the United States has not kept up its promise in creating transparency and systems that tell the truth about what's going on. That is, I think, is a fundamental truth. And so for Trump to do this in this particular case, I do lean towards supporting that because it needs to be done. And there's no more waiting around for Congress to do it, because Congress is never going to do it, right? And this is where I think you're right, Jeff, where we need to hold Congress more accountable. And I think the reform should come around Congress Congress.
That's what I'm saying. Longer term, this is all necessary because Congress hasn't been doing their job.
Agreed.
Congress has ceded their power to the executive branch in such a way that the executive branch was able to commit all of these abuses that are now being shown. And I think longer term, the states need to get together and demand that the Supreme Court intervene and declare Congress in contempt of their own mandates. And like Congress needs to fix what they're doing because they're the reason that presidential power and executive power has grown so substantially.
Also, I think people are under the impression that their data stays private and that there aren't a myriad of non-governmental agencies that have that data and government agencies. By the way, those conducting audits very often do not have any sort of clearance. So I don't know why we're pretending like your information was top secret. There was a breach of the Chinese government. Where was the outrage? Where were the congressional hearings? How do we want to expose that weakness? Did you ever hear another word about it? Nothing. Cricket.
Well,
And now you're worried about your privacy?
maybe it was happening in private, like classified.
Where were the hearings?
Maybe it was happening behind closed doors.
Was it happening? It wasn't. Where can you find anything about that?
Yeah, and where is the question as to whether or not these things have any reason to be classified?
Well, I could probably pay $5 and get your social security number off the dark web.
Well, look at
$3.
The TikTok hearings happened behind closed doors.
But we know about them, David. People were upset about TikTok, right? Nobody even gave two shits the fact that the Chinese literally hacked our Treasury Department.
What about the phone? What about the text? Hacking.
Yeah.
In the telecom. Deeply rooted to the core networks of our telecom systems.
But people are like in the chat, but it's not the same thing. Really? Because this is an American citizen with a top secret security clearance doing the job that Congress won't. I'm sorry, but I'd much rather that guy have my information
Which
than the Chinese.
guy had the TS? Which guy had the TS?
Big Ball.
Elon.
I like one of members of Trump or Elon's team is his name on social media is Big Ball.
But did he really? The question. He's 20 years old, right? I think was that the kid?
No, he was like 28.
Oh, he's 28. Okay. You know, is it a true TS or is it
No, he doesn't have it. Elon has it.
Elon has a TS?
Yes.
I guess
he got
I
it
guess he's
under
had one for a
Biden.
while. Yeah.
Didn't he have to get one like when
For
SpaceX
SpaceX.
was shuttling NASA?
Yes. Yes.
Back then, you have to get one. Because I remember when he like took a puff of weed, they were talking about revoking it. I don't think they ever did.
That was the SEC.
That was NASA. It was SpaceX and NASA that the issue was. The SEC was something else because
No. Wait, when he was doing weed, he got in trouble from the SEC.
probably also that's
Why would the SAC have anything to say about him smoking weed?
I just remember they put restrictions on him after he was admitting to smoking weed.
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
He didn't admit to smoking weed. He said he doesn't like it, and he took like a puff.
No, on Joe Rogan, he was smoking weed.
Well, he took a puff.
And then that's when the SEC got involved.
It could be that thing out loud. I don't remember that part, but the security clearance issue was NASA because SpaceX was shuttling NASA.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Is that officially still a slogan, or is that literally over? Are they canceling the "Don't Do Drugs" slogan?
If I may chime in, I actually just read something today about a lesson in a local elementary school where they have replaced the DARE program. They're no longer saying just say no to drugs. And the new message is start low and go slow. There's some detailed graphics about like edibles may be ingested. They might have a stronger effect than if you smoke it. You know, smoke it. You could smoke it out of a bong. You could smoke it out of a can. You could smoke it behind the alleyway. And heroin, you know, here's how to do heroin. You don't shoot it up. You might want to smoke it. Smoking it's safer than shooting it up. So don't shoot up the heroin. If you're going to do heroin, only smoke your heroin. And remember, kids, start low and go slow. I wish I could say I was making it up, Marvin, but I'm not.
I wish you. It doesn't matter. It's really funny still. That's all I care about. My comic relief.
It's sad but true.
At least Clayton never inhaled.
He never inhaled, nor did he ever have sex with that lady.
He let Monica do that for him.
Let's be clear, telling kids not to do drugs is about as useful as telling them not to fuck.
Well, I mean, you should practice abstinence.
They're also teaching kids how to fuck.
Going low and slow is also a good advice when it comes to fucking. Starting low is going.
Go down and go slow.
Wow.
I mean, am I wrong?
You were not wrong.
I mean, it depends on the woman. Some women like it faster.
I find they like it when it's as fast and as short as.
Listen, you got to change it up. I thought I went over this already.
You
Yeah,
literally
couple
did.
fast,
Yeah,
couple
or-
short.
You've gone over it a few times.
Right? Right, Marvin?
You've gone over it a few times in the past couple of years.
Man.
It's too funny.
Good, man, good.
So religion doesn't leave anything to question?
Why you gotta step on my jokes, Samoa?
No, I said each. Just sorry, bro. It's just so flat. Couldn't help walking on it.
Fair, fair.
No, it's just religions are easily defined. This is Islam. This is
So
Christianity.
is Islam,
the
let's stay
denomination.
with Islam. Is Islam knowledge-based or faith-based?
I think it's faith-based, but knowledge-based as well.
Okay, so how is that exact? And
That feels a little wishy-washy.
that's a little shaky.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is that it has exact, like there's a definite.
What up, Zach? They just kicked me out of that room. It was kind of funny what you said about the start low, start slow.
They kicked you out of Jeff's room?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of exciting stuff going on in there. They wouldn't want you to interfere with any of that.
Well, they can't get their dopamine unless they get a good kick.
Went viral. It's fancy. About to write that.
You ready to do some Tanya? Start a video? I can do it a little bit. Yeah. Let's just do it a little bit. But, let's just create YouTube and see what happens. I'm going to class this evening. I shouldn't say that. But I'm going to a Jewish class this evening. Really? Yes, Jewish class 6 week. Jew class. It's called Decoding the Talmud. Oh, cool. We're gonna decode it. Decode that bitch. I've been reading the Tao Te Ching and the Dhammapada for like the past 5 days, and my YouTube's got a lot of they do get a lot of views.
Like, not a lot of views, but you know. Holy shit. Doctors with Jazzy.
The January.
Doc.
And we're already like 20 million in.
24, 24, 24, 24, 25, 24, 24. What the? They're all from like December, January, December.
Yeah, and
they're all with.
See, Brian, or AKA Doctor, he's like anybody. Everybody's fighting loneliness and boredom, but you know, I don't think he uses the hard R, you know, unless he's like totally shit-faced. But Jazzy was the one who kicked him out, and now he's chatting with her. Wouldn't be surprised if they end up banging it out.
I think many people are very sexually frustrated, and most of the people who have targeted me over the years have been
You've been targeted by those who are incapable of being touched.
Yeah, targeted by fem cells.
Fem cells. I'm a liberal. I'm, you know, on my Bumble, it says, like, what are you looking forward to achieving this year? And, like, the shit that people write me is so hilarious. It's like some fatties writing fucking essays, and they're like, what about you, John? And I'm just like, delete.
Isn't it funny when they say, like, their interests are going to the gym, or they'll write something about, like, you know, can you keep up with me? Hope you can keep up. And then you look at their picture and they're fat. Like, I guess you don't go to the gym that often, you know? Anyway, you might as well open rooms in the Dow and Tanya house.
Okay,
I don't
read.
know if I still have access to this house.
I'm pretty sure I have it on this account. All right, just you want to rejoin the new room?
Dow and Danya.
Okay. Okay, this is Tao Tanya book meditation. I also gotta say that other room title was really funny. That Nora is too extreme for Hamas. It's fucking hilarious. It's like, this shit is so funny.
It's Tao Tanya.
Okay, we are reading books this morning, meditating, trying to work on our vibration. Who goes first? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by its toe. If he hollers, let him go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. That's you.
I'll tell you what I was reading this morning, which is inspiring me to quit cigarettes again. February 11th, the day I quit cigarettes again.
I didn't know you smoked cigarettes.
I know. Well, I told you once and you shamed me because it's an embarrassing, disgusting, low IQ habit.
No, I mean smoking in general is, but I mean I smoke weed every day, all day. So it's like, you know, I'm not somebody to criticize because I'm smoking is smoking, but
All right, well, listen to this. A person's life is good only to the extent that it fulfills the expectations of the will of God. A person's life is good only to the extent that it fulfills the expectations of the will of God. Evil, in the form of suffering and death, is everywhere apparent to a person who accepts the law of his material animal existence as the major law of his life. Only when a man lowers himself to the state of an animal does death and suffering scare him. The only road open to him to escape that fear is the road of fulfillment of the law of God, the law which is expressed in love. There is no death and no suffering for a man who lives according to the law of God. Be as you are, as you have to be, and the rest is God's business. The fulfillment of our duties and the satisfaction of our personal pleasures are two different things. Duties have their own laws, and even if we try to mix our duties with our pleasures, they will separate themselves. We know the law of God, both as it is presented to us by the different religions of the world and as our own conscience, when it is not obscured by passion and prejudice. And we can easily understand the applications of this law to our life, for all real good stems from its requirements. It is obvious for everyone that death expects us all in the long run, but nevertheless we live our lives as if there will be no death. If only God is among us and eternity exists, then everything is different. We can distinguish good from evil, light from darkness, and despair disappears. One of the key questions we face is whether our lives end after death. Whether we believe in eternity or not determines our actions. Therefore, it is crucial that we determine what is mortal in us and what is eternal, and that we cherish those things eternal. Most people do exactly the opposite. The more deeply you understand life, the less you grieve over the destruction caused by death. Whatever name you give to the origin of man, this spiritual quality of humans to understand, feel, and exist, it is holy, it is divine, and therefore it should be eternal.
okay, nicely. Is that it?
Well, it goes on. This is a calendar of wisdom by Leo Tolstoy. Are you familiar with this?
Yeah, you told me about it. I bought the book actually.
It's good. Flip it open.
I thought you were gonna read Tanya.
Yeah, all right. We can do that too.
Okay, I'm gonna read just two pages from Tao, and then go back to Tanya. Okay, this is called Know Yourself. To know others is intelligence.
There is no death.
Oh, this is your recording.
It's according to the law of God.
To know others is intelligence. To know yourself is wisdom. To conquer others is power. To conquer yourself is strength. To be content with yourself is to be rich. To be discontent with yourself is to be poor. Keep the essence of heaven inside yourself, and you will never die. Knowing, to know when you don't know is wise. To think you know when you don't know is not. Only when you see sickness as sickness can you become well. The wise one's way of curing sickness is to make people see what is what, and thus be completely cured. Gentle. What is the gentlest of all overcomes the hardest of all. Without substance, the way of heaven enters where there is no space. Non-action wins over action. But to know there can be teaching without words, action without action, few can understand. Heaven's way. He whose braveness lies in war kills. He whose braveness lies in peace gives life. Either can win or lose. But heaven hates what it hates. No one can know the reason why. Heaven's way is not to fight and yet to conquer, not to speak and yet to be answered, not to call yet things come by themselves. Heaven's way is quiet, invisible, and planned. Heaven's net is wide, yet nothing slips through. I'm just going to read 3 minutes because I'm recording a YouTube. Here we go. Governing a large country is like cooking a small fish. It can be spoiled with too much poking. Center the country in heaven's way, and evil cannot enter. Not that it won't try to, but you can move out of its way. When evil has nothing to oppose, it will disappear by itself. True words are not fine sounding words are not true. A good man doesn't prove by arguing, and he who argues isn't good. True wisdom comes not from much learning means little wisdom. The wise one has few things, but he gives them away, and look, he has more than before. When the last has been given away, look, he has even more than before. For heaven's way is to shape without force, and the wise one's way is to act without trying. Lao Tzu traveled through the Hankou Pass, then some say he traveled through the floating sands. To be content with yourself is to be rich. Okay, that's 3 minutes of Tao. You want to do 3 minutes of Tanya? I'm titling this The Taoist Way. The Taoist Way of Tao. I gave my dentist a copy of that rabbi. I gave him a copy of the Tanya. He was like, wow, thank you so much. He's like, I don't know if you know this, but my wife's family is Chabad. I'm like, oh, really? Wow.
That's good.
Okay, you want to go next, or you want to take a break?
I can do one. I've got to go soon. I've got to go live my life, my pathetic life.
Well, you're doing valuable work here. I assure you that. I've relabeled Clubhouse low IQ dumb people who talk about nothing, wasting time. And when I say they're talking about nothing, I mean that, like, even if there's a topic, because you're really like creating no action, you're just using words, it really is low IQ dumb people talking about nothing. Like, literally nothing gets spoken about in these rooms. It's because they're not really talking about any action, nothing, doing nothing. It's just talking. It's just words that disappear.
La la la, la 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 la.
It's stupid. So like you literally just spent the best like 1.5 minutes, again, ever on this app.
Suhani Gupta. Is that Suhani Gupta?
Yeah. Hi, Suhani. Welcome to the room. Hot chicks are nice.
Is that a hot chick?
There's some verse in the Tao or some book. It says everything in the world is a lie except for the love of a good woman.
Ooh,
I kind of agree with that. Because like when you're with a really good woman and like you're in love, it's like everything else is like subordinate to that. This is
what's the longest relationship?
probably the chick that I got engaged to and then ended the engagement. 2.5 years.
And why did you end it?
Because I was
2.5 years. Jesus Christ.
yeah. It was just like basically I liked her, I respected her, and like I didn't want to like ruin her life or like get divorced because like I had thrown myself into financial chaos because I bought a house and gave the keys to a friend of mine, and he basically started squatting on me, and I wasted all my money on this fucking house. I wrote a check for $150,000. It was like my life savings. And so stupid. I made a huge financial mistake. So then I realized like I shouldn't marry this girl because I haven't told her about this huge financial mistake. And like I should probably just let her go because like she's gonna get married to like, you know, a good person, and you know she can live a good life. Like I don't want to fuck up her shit by, you know, marrying her and not being, you know, prepared to like, you know, be married. So I let it go. And your video failed. I don't know why. Upload failed. This is why you need to film it on your end as well.
Oh man. I think a lot about going back to Israel. I've been thinking about that a lot.
Don't you understand the metaphor that you are Israel and that you're wrestling with self? Like geographic proximity is irrelevant to like psychological conditioning.
I know, but there are more beautiful Jewish women in Israel.
Yeah, but if you're not pimping out what you got right now, like you're never optimizing, you're never organizing. Like, what is in your immediate proximity now?
I have a girlfriend.
Okay, well, did that ever stop, you know, a polygamous polytheist from getting more ass? What's holding you back? Like, have you discussed with your girlfriend? Like, you should discuss it maybe before you decide to acquire other lovers. But did you know in America it's not illegal to have more than one lover?
I did know that.
I'm telling you, dude, like your projection about Israel is just a lack of organization in the all important now. That's really what you're fighting with, is being in the now. Because that's what Israel is. Israel.
Yeah, it's a place that people live.
I know, but it's no different than where you live now. It's all the same. It's nothing changes when you wake up tomorrow. Even if you were there, it's still the whole set of problems that you face today. Like there's no differentiation between problems geographically. You need money, you need a house, you need a wife, you need kids, you need security, you need intelligence. I assure you, books are more important than you're trying to put the cart before the carrot. The book is the carrot, and you have to follow that fucking carrot book. The girl
I'm just saying, if you go on the dating app around here and you say Jewish girl, there aren't any.
Yeah, well, listen, I can swipe right on here, and like a lot of these Jewish chicks don't even, the hot ones don't even want to have anything to do with me because like I'm low on the totem pole in terms of like successful Jewish guys.
That's always going to happen. Oh, I see. Because there's other more successful ones.
Yeah, I mean the chick, the Israeli chick that I was supposed to. First of all, a lot of them are fat, so that right off the bat is like,
True.
bitch, you don't need to be dating me, and like we could hang out and we could fuck, but like I would still take you to the gym because you're fat, and you probably don't want to go to the gym because you're fat.
Sometimes you see like the fat people who get skinny and they look good. It's like you want to say to them, like, you're really pretty. You're just fat. You know?
I like the pretty young girls who are just starting to get fat, and they're like close to like tipping this, like they're close to like losing it all, and you want and like
Tipping the scales, as it were.
yeah, you don't like, you're not rude to them. Like I told this one beautiful chick that I was madly in love with, I was like, you really should start going to the gym. Boy, did she get fucking pissed. Like, fuck you. I look better now than I ever have in my life, and I don't even go to the gym. It's like, bitch, that's exactly why you need to be going to the gym. You're about to lose it all. I saw a picture of her recently. She's fucking full of Botox. You can't even recognize her anymore, or fillers. It's like, damn. You were so hot. Like you just, and you're not even married and don't have kids. Like you fucked yourself. Look at you. You don't even look normal anymore. The fuck? You were so pretty. Now you look like shit.
Look like shit.
These girls are crazy. Face tattoos. They do their eyebrows. They do their eyelids. They fill their faces full of filler, and it's like, ooh, damn. Take a photo of yourself without makeup. Ah! Ooh! What happened to you? Ouch! How old are you? 65? You're 36. You look 72. You're 26. You look 66. I'm telling you, like, wait. I don't know how attractive your girlfriend is, but, if you do swipe right, and you're just doing a survey and you're doing like a comparison, sometimes like you should be really thankful for what you have. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what your girlfriend looks like. I don't know what you necessarily look like. I don't know what your dating options are. There's so many variables to contend with that, you have to make the decision and, be confident with it. But again, it's like, you got a girlfriend, you got a chick that fucks you, and you're not even married. Like, count yourself lucky.
Yeah, she just is mean sometimes.
But
Are they all mean?
That's where your purpose as a man comes in, because like you're supposed to do the hard reset for yourself, and then it flows out of you. So let that bitch be angry as long as you're flowers. If you are flowers, that angry bitch will become flowers too, but you have to do the transformative work, and she will follow, because it's not like you're trying to follow her lead as a man. Like you are the one, you are the Bhagavan. She is just, there's a picture of the Buddha and he's in silent meditation, and his woman is like wrapping around him from behind. And, she's not in meditation, but you are. And so thus she's attracted to you, and she de-bitchifies. But if a bitch is gonna bitch, let a bitch bitch. That's not, that's not your problem. Like our realities are all contained within us. And if she presents herself as a bitch, does it really matter? Because that's not what's contained in you. She can project her bitchiness on you, but that's the thing, is you've done the work to become the flowers of meditation. And thus, you transmute her bitchiness as well. It doesn't affect you. You're just like helping her, if that makes any sense. And then she becomes nice. But you got to get over that like dopamine threshold, that dopamine hurdle, or that dopamine hump. Literally, hump. That's the way I look at it. Because you have no choice but to deal with yourself first and then others secondary. That's the best way to deal with a secondary to begin with, is to like first deal with yourself. Chris is sending me a link to the Deep State Patriots. because they kicked me out yesterday. You want to take a quick listen to see what these liberal Democrat pussies are saying? The resistance, the Trump resistance fighters. Subscribe for more derangement.
I can't believe that there's still those people still exist. What room is it?
It's the Deep State Patriots. I don't know. The room may have ended.
Deep State Patriots? More like Deep State Gatriots.
Chris created this YouTube account called How to Waste Your Time at Clubhouse Live Podcast. And yeah, he's got all these Deep State Patriot rooms, Roger Mayhem, Goat Gagosian, Trump election derangement roundtables, Luigi Mangione lusting women roundtable, fat tax roundtable. Holy shit! Like I see. This is why Clubhouse needs to publish these fucking rooms to YouTube, is because there's no reason to ever sit through a 4-hour room. You know, like I think what Chris is doing is exactly what needs to happen, and I'm gonna share all of his videos, you know, on my stupid website that nobody even looks at, but. So I got this girl who moved in down in the basement in the studio, and she has a cat. And I went down there yesterday to give her a vacuum. Bro, it smells so bad. It smells like shit. And I'm like, oh my God, like this smells terrible down here. It's a fucking litter box and just like a stinky cat person, you know? But like, I don't want to be mean or rude. And like, there's nothing I can do now. She's moved in. But like, just to go do my laundry now, I have to smell this terrible, horrible, disgusting smell. And I'm like, oh yeah, that chick. And she extended her stay another month. And I'm just afraid she's like, you know, a mental health. I haven't even met her, you know, I have never even shook her hand or like looked her in the eye. But like, you know, now I have a stinky cat person who might squat on me because she's got nowhere else to go. And she's like a homeless, you know, dithering idiot. Who knows? She says she's a paralegal. But like we'll find out. And like because rates go up in the summertime, so like I don't need anybody to stick around. Like I want her to leave, but the fact that she has a cat, it's like definitely want her to leave. But then when she leaves, I gotta fucking clean the unit, and I hope that cat hasn't fucking pissed or shit or stank all over everywhere, and then now it's like I got a permanently stinky unit. Probably don't. I have this thing called an iodizer or ozone thing, and I think it like sucks the stink out of the fucking air. But anyways, like I try to have compassion because like, you know, having a unit, you know, it's like a destiny thing. And so like when somebody moves in, it's like I let it go because it was her destiny to move in. And you know, I hope that the unit is like a place of reprieve and like maybe they can get organized and get their shit together and move on. But like I don't want to have to like be a therapist or a counselor or a social worker to tenants, you know, and I don't want to have any complications with them. I'm always willing to make accommodations and like go slow, especially if they have money. But if I'm not getting paid and they're staying, you know, for free, it's like now we have a serious conflict of interest. And I'm not opposed to doing a citizen's arrest and like walking somebody out the back door with some guy named Vito from the local bar.
It's 11:11. I'll tell you just briefly. I had cats growing up because my mother really likes cats, and my mother taught me how to have cats. And my mother is kind of neurotic, and she still has cat to this day. And she scoops out when the cat uses the litter box. My mother will clean the litter box almost immediately, certainly like within the hour. You know, because she's often at home, and if she walks by and she sees that it's been used in any way, she'll clean it. And you know what I've noticed, John? I can't think of a single other cat owner that I have ever seen in my life ever that does this. I was at somebody's house the other day who had a cat, and the litter box had probably, I don't know if you've seen this, your tenant is probably this way, but they have like, you know, the cat has used the litter box probably 30 times.
Yeah.
And you can't even see the litter. It's just like a pit of shit. And that, I don't know, like, it's horrible. Yeah, when you see that, it's horrible. But what's sad is that that's a much more common way for people to manage their litter box
Yeah.
than the way that my mother taught me, which is just astounding. Like, I thought that's how you do it. Like, when you see there's poop, you clean it and put it in the toilet. Your house doesn't smell like garbage. But other people are like, oh no, you could just leave it there basically forever. Like, you know, you can clean it whenever you want to. And
It's disgusting.
it's horrible.
How do you
Horrible.
like? She's got no ventilation down there. It's like, how do you live with a stuffy, disgusting shit and piss box? Clearly, you have a mental health
Excuse
issue.
me, ma'am. How do you live with a stuffy, disgusting shit and piss box? Maybe you could ask her that the next time you
See, the thing is like I have so many pairs of underpants that I don't have to do laundry probably for like 2 more months. So like she'll be gone by the time I have to go do laundry because like see the whole point, the whole thing of about anger management also is out of sight, out of mind. So, like thinking about it, talking about it, smelling it, seeing it, it's like it's not a problem unless I think it's a problem. So, like if I want to make this a problem, I can make it a problem. If I want to just basically out of sight, out of mind, it's like totally not a problem. It's like go ahead, live like that. Think I give a fuck? It's like you paid me and I need your money.
It doesn't matter to you. Yeah, it doesn't matter at all.
Yeah,
It's pointless.
it's pointless. So that's how that's the thing, that's the secret. It's like when you're worried about something, it's almost like bills, like I have bills that I'm not even paying right now because like I don't fucking have the money to pay them. But there's a back end to it where it's like I haven't been paying the water bill and it's now at like I don't know 2,800 or something, and I'm never going to pay it because like there's no repercussions. Like they don't turn the water off, and what they'll do is they might put a lien on my house, but I already have a fucking lien on my house. So it's like get in line, bitch. Like why am I going to pay you for something that I don't even have to? They can suspend city licenses if I run a business. They can garnish my wages. They can put a lien on the property. But it's like they're not even the primary now because of this lawsuit. So it's like this lawsuit has changed the way that I even think about bills because there's just priorities of survival.
Everybody has their own shit. You're a very smart man. I think you have a good personality, and obviously you have a lot of crazy stuff in your life that you're dealing with. I've spoken with your mother. She seems like a nice lady. She also seems crazy in her own way. But it's funny, like I was talking with somebody. Yeah, everybody has their stories. I was talking with somebody, and then she told me that she met a man on the beach and then ended up like holding 15 of his guns because he was being investigated by the federal government. And then so she had this guy's guns and
Wow.
had to like give back. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? She was like, yeah, I met him on the beach and then we were dating and then he was like, I had a couple of his guns and hell. Anyway, it was like 15, probably like 30,000 worth of guns. I was like, what?
Wow.
The fuck are you talking about? But anyway, that's how I feel when you start talking about the two liens on your.
Yeah, big difference between having like an arsenal of weapons as opposed to like being sued for taking a loan out from a bank, being foreclosed on and fucked over. Yeah, I don't own any firearms.
I know. I'm just teasing. I'm teasing you.
No, I know. I don't own any firearms, like because I don't want to have any additional complications in my life. But I do like guns. Like having a gun at home feels great. You feel like a real cool person, and it's cool. And like I'm comfortable around weapons, and I've worked with weapons. It's like I would like to have a weapon, but yeah, my dad told me not to get a gun. And so I have a samurai sword and I have a fucking air pistol or whatever, an air rifle, and it's like, I feel like maybe that's a better option, first line of defense anyways. Like shoot him with an air pistol from like 1,000 yards. Did he just shoot me in the face with a pellet gun? I have a pellet gun sticking in my forehead. There's a pellet in my forehead. You know how painful it is to get shot in the face with a pellet gun? Oh, that shit ain't stopping. It's going right through your face. Especially the sharp pointed bullets, the flat ones, like flat ones, but the sharp ones will go straight into you, like probably go an inch into your fucking head. I knew this chick whose dad shot somebody who was trespassing on their property with a pellet gun, and it was like a public access way to get to the beach, and he was screaming at people, just, when he shot him with a pellet gun. Fucking went to jail for it. Fucking idiot. I was like, so wait, your dad is in jail right now? She's like, yep, he shot people who were walking across our property with a pellet gun. I was like, but it wasn't your property, right? She's like, no, it's public beach access way. I'm like, okay, so your dad did attempted murder. She's like, yeah, I guess so. I'm like, yeah, I guess your dad did. Dad probably should have gone and meditated and winked one off instead of getting angry and shooting people with a pellet gun.
I wonder if there's a pocket Tanya. You think there's a pocket Tanya?
Basically that, well, yeah, there is a pocket Tanya because I have an older Tanya, and it's basically, a pocket-sized version. But the one that we're reading from is also very pocket-sized. It's,
No, it's too big.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still condensed. I mean, who cares?
No, I'm just saying I'm going to go to the jiu-jitsu place, which the class starts soon, and I've got some wisdom books in the car. They're all little pocket size, but I'm going to leave my Tanya. And, but anyway, sometimes I smoke some weed in the parking lot of the jiu-jitsu place. That could be a good Tanya opportunity as well.
Host service fee. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, dude, like this reading Tanya, reading Marcus Aurelius, like reading these books into YouTube is like I would say it's supplementary, but it's necessary. It doesn't matter what you do in your life. It does not matter. But this wisdom information will help basically make you faster, speed you up in terms of intelligence, because a lot of this is de-irascibility. Because if you have a tendency to be irascible on this app, in the real world, you may also be irascible. So this is kind of like ninja training. That's the way I would look at it, because a ninja doesn't say anything. A ninja does his operations secretly, without detection, and nobody knows that the ninja struck, until it's too late. So thus
it is written, those who know do not talk, and those who talk do not know.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can go into any room on this app and listen to people talking about nothing, because people who are talking do not know, and those who know do not say. So thus, every room on this app is rooms. Like, you think that guy Martian, whatever the fuck his name is, Martin the Martian or whatever, the Marine Corps intelligence guy. Do you think a real intelligence officer, a real secret spy, James Bond type, is sitting here running his fucking mouth, giving analysis on everything? No, the real guy is out there fucking doing the executions and doing it silently, undetected, Philosophy just points out all the things that we don't really realize of what's happening in terms of communication, which is nothing. Okay, I'm going to read one more 3-minute Tao, and then I'm going to make another coffee. And I would really encourage you to start texting me like your YouTube links of you reading Tao or Tanya. If we do it live and we do it real time, I'm trying to get my friend Max to help me with these campaign videos, but I don't want him to actually like meet me in person. I just want him to come to a fucking clubhouse room and like witness. But there's like no point in meeting in person if we can't even do work individually in our offices and do it real time. It's like I can't get people to do what I need them to do or want them to do because they always have an opinion about something. They're like, I don't like it. It's got negative energy. It's like, no, dude, you have the negative energy. That's a you problem. It's like I need your help because I need your prompts and I need the topics, but like I don't need you to be here to sit here and smoke weed and drink coffee. It's like I need you like on Clubhouse Live creating real time. Anyways, this is Tao, 24th verse. A man who tiptoes can't stand. A man who straddles can't walk. A man who shows off can't shine. A man who justifies his actions isn't respected. A man who boasts of his achievements has no merit. A man who brags will not endure. To a person of Tao, these things are excess food and superfluous behavior. Because nothing good can come of them, he doesn't indulge them. Something mysterious and perfect existed before even heaven and earth were born. Silent, immeasurable, standing alone and unchanging, moving without end or exhaustion. It is the mother of the known and the unknown universe. I don't know its name, so I call it by an alias, Tao. Forced to describe it, I only say it is great. That which is great continues. That which continues goes far. That which goes far returns. Therefore Tao is great. Heaven is great. Earth is great. A person of Tao is great. These are the four greatnesses in the universe. A good runner leaves no tracks. A good speaker makes no slips. A good planner doesn't have to scheme. The best lock has no bolt and no one can open it. The best knot uses no rope and no one can untie it. Thus, the master is always good at saving people and doesn't abandon anyone. Always good at saving things and doesn't waste anything. This is known as following the light. What is a good man but a bad man's teacher? What is a bad man but a good man's charge? It doesn't matter how smart you are if you don't have the sense to honor your teachers and cherish your responsibilities. This is an essential teaching of Tao. To know the masculine and yet cleave to the feminine is to be the womb for the world, being the womb for the world, never departing from the eternal power of Tao. You become as an infant once again immortal. To know the bright and yet hold to the dull is to be the example for the world, being the example for the world, not deviating from the everlasting power of Tao. You return to the infinite once again, limitless. To know honor and yet keep to humility is to be the valley for the world. Being the valley for the world, rich with the primal power of Tao, you return once again to simplicity like uncarved wood. Allow Tao. A man who tiptoes can't. Okay, that's 3 minutes of Tao Te Ching. Taoism. I don't know, people who criticize this, it's like, okay, well, show me something else. And they go, I don't have anything to show you. What the fuck do you mean show you? It's like, okay, you're criticizing what I'm doing. You're calling it gay. But do you have anything else to like neurolinguistically program me with? What the fuck? No. That shit's gay.
Why are you gay?
So I was reading like Aleister Crowley once, and I don't know if you know who Morel is or whatever the fuck his other name is. He's a doctor on like the Northeast coast. He's like, I don't know what to tell you, dude, but that shit's fucking gay. I was like, yeah, you're kind of right. It's kind of gay, but you know, like if that's all you have to say, you don't have any additional like, you know, commentary or philosophy. Maybe you're gay. Maybe something is up with you. Like, I got into an argument with him.
He's irascible.
Yeah, we got into an argument about like the early origins of C-19, and I was saying how he was saying how it like ravished, the world and these nursing homes, everybody was dying. I was like, what the fuck do you think people do at nursing homes? Do you think they just live forever? It's a fucking nursing home, dude. See, a lot of these doctors are just like pseudo scientists, doing like chemical cocktails to keep people alive, but like they're not actually physically in good shape themselves. So they can't actually lead anybody through any real physical therapy. We're the most ridiculous society in the world. Everybody is just looking at the Price is Right, taking 13 pills a day when they should be at the gym watching Price is Right, taking no pills. Most of these pills are just fucking, poisons or anyways. These are good takes. I mean, I really encourage you to use your YouTube to record yourself doing poetry. And I like, I'll record it as well, but it's easier to do it if you have a study partner, obviously. But
I'm driving right now.
Well, I'm talking about maybe tomorrow or maybe.
In general.
Yeah, I mean, imagine. So if you're going to do this Talmud thing, maybe create like a Talmud YouTube account and do like, little select readings from the Talmud. And then when it's finished, like show your teacher, be like, hey, I just wanted to let you know as a surprise, I created a Talmud research YouTube channel. And he'll be like, wow, I spawned that. That was me that helped propel this amazing creative endeavor. Just an idea.
Think about that.
Chicken Hillary writes, okay, so listen to this. This video got 500 views. I uploaded it a day ago.
The honor paid to the one who has achieved self-mastery for one single instant is worth more than monthly offerings of 1,000 pieces of gold. Honoring the one who has achieved self-mastery for one single instant is worth more than living in the forest, tending the sacred fire for 100 years. Making offerings for glory and recognition is not 1/4 as worthy as honoring the upright. Whoever shows reverence and respect for the aged is rewarded fourfold, with long life, beauty, happiness, and strength. Even a single day of a life lived virtuously and meditatively is worth more than 100 years lived wantonly and without discipline. A single day's life of a wise and contemplative man is worth more than 100 years lived wantonly and without discipline. A single day's life of one who puts out great effort is better than a life of 100 years lived in idleness and sluggishness. A single day's life lived by a man who grasps the impermanence of all conditioned things is worth more than 100 years lived in blindness and ignorance. A single day's life of one who sees the deathless state is worth more than 100 years lived without perceiving it. A single day's life of one who sees the truth is worth more than 100 years of not seeing the truth. Okay, this is chapter 9, Evil Dhammapada. Do not lose a moment of doing good. Protect your mind from evil. Whoever neglects doing good is inviting addiction to evil. If a man has mistakenly committed an evil deed, let him not repeat it. Let him not be addicted to evil, for it is the amassing of evil that brings misery. On the other hand, if a man does good, let him do it repeatedly. Let him put his heart into it. For the accumulation of good brings blessings. Even an evildoer feels happy before his negative actions reach fruition. However, when the evil ripens, he will have a bountiful harvest of evil results. A good man sees what is unwholesome before his good deeds reach fruition. However, when the good ripens, he will have a bountiful harvest of good results. Don't underestimate evil, saying, it can't happen to me. As a pot slowly fills up with water, drop by drop, so does the fool little by little become full of evil. Don't underestimate good, saying, it can't happen to me. Water falling drop by drop will fill even a large pot. Likewise, the wise man accumulating good little by little becomes goodness itself. One should shun all evil as a merchant with treasure in a small caravan. The honor paid to the one who has.
Okay, I'm going to do another 3-minute Dow. What makes people go hungry? Rulers eating up all the money in taxes. What makes people rebellious? Rulers who can't stop interfering. What makes people take death so lightly? People taking life so seriously. Those who enjoy life are wiser than those who employ life. If people don't love life, they won't fear death, and threatening them with it won't work. If people have lives worth living, then the threat of death is meaningful, and they'll do what is right to avoid it. But killing itself should be the province of the great executioner alone. Trying to take his place and kill is like cutting wood in the place of the master carpenter. The odds are you'll hurt your own hand. Those who are courageous out of daring are killed. Those who are courageous out of love survive. The first is harmful, the second beneficial. Heaven prohibits some things, but who knows the reason? Not even the sage knows the answer to this. This is the way of heaven. It doesn't contend, but easily overcomes. It doesn't speak, but always responds. It can't be summoned, but comes of its own volition. Utterly without haste, it plans for everything. The net of heaven is vast, though its meshes are wide, nothing slips through. If people fear your power, then you don't really have any. Leave them alone in their homes. Respect them in their lives, and they won't grow weary of you. The sage knows herself, but doesn't dwell on herself, loves herself, but no more than she loves everyone else. She adopts the concerns of heaven as her own. Moving from knowing to not knowing, this is good. Moving from not knowing to knowing, this is sickness. You have to become sick of your sickness before you can get rid of it. The sage isn't sick, he's sick of his sickness, therefore he's not sick. My words are very easy to understand, very easy to put into practice, but you can't understand them, can't put them into practice. Words have their ruler, events have their origins. People who can't understand this can't understand me. The ones who do are few. They wear coarse cloth and carry jade in their breasts. In conflict, it is better to be receptive than aggressive, better to retreat a foot than advance an inch. This is called moving ahead without advancing, capturing the enemy without attacking him. There is no greater misfortune than underestimating your opponent. To underestimate your opponent is to forsake your three treasures.
What makes people go hungry? Rulers eating up all.
People wealthier, and that's what's going to happen this time. So,
No,
good luck, everybody out.
Hey, you can dig with strawberry. It's not like you. It's not like you're not gonna
The honor paid.
get any type of benefit. You're gonna be able to get a little bit of wealth as well. You're gonna get 30 to 40% if you're a W-2 motherfucker. You're gonna get paid. So I don't understand how you're gonna complain.
Yeah, $9 an hour at a time.
Yep. Nobody gets paid $9 an hour in the
What do you think? What do you think?
Everybody goes to like the worst
No, wait, listen. You think those things? Listen. Think about this. If the goal is to keep the rich people richer,